Hello. Brazil.
Hola.
This is number 5.
It's the 5th and final.
Very sad.
It is very sad.
So we arrived after 3 and 4 leg journeys in Sao Paulo. Got to our hostel, cafe hostel.
It was really cute.
Yeah, I recommend it if anyone is actually staying in Sao Paulo.
And I'm going back to it. That's how much I liked it.
The dude there makes really good caprinas, but anyway, we'll get to that. We had a few drinks that night to try and recover from our day of travel.
I think the time difference in the day of travel combined actually added to this. So I think we drank until nearly 3 a.m. and we had an impressive lineup of drinks, or cans, empty cans, by the time we'd finished. So that was lovely.
Yes, it was quite lovely. Then went to our room, had some sleep, and then very hot in Brazil, hotter than the last few countries we've been in. So probably, obviously, high altitude's fucking cold, but Brazil's been 30 plus. When we got in that night, it was
34, I think.
34 or something ridiculous. And then, what did we do the next day?
So the next day we found an art gallery that we wanted to go to because it had this amazing exhibition that used to be in Brisbane, and we just thought we'd go and check it out and then see what we could do from there. Anyway, so we caught a couple of trains to go to this art gallery, and when we got there, there was a lineup that would have taken 3 hours.
At least.
So it was backwards and forwards inside the gate and then all the way around the corner. So we thought that's probably not a great idea. So we
actually looked at each other and went, fuck that. Was actually what happened.
Yeah. So then we decided, let's just go for a walk around the neighbourhood. That lasted probably all of I'd say 7 minutes.
Yeah, no.
Because we walked out and we started to look around. We're like, oh, she's interesting. Oh, he's interesting.
She's interesting. Oh, what the fuck is that? Rach shouldn't be in this area.
So we realised that we were really in the wrong end of town very quickly. So we quickly jumped back on a train, and then we decided that we'd get off halfway back to our hostel and just walk and see what we found. We ended up finding Paulista Avenue, which is the main avenue in the new part of downtown in Sao Paulo. So we walked along that, and we were walking along, and we were both craving sushi. And it turns out that we found a sushi place above a petrol station. Now, ordinarily, I'd think that this was a bad idea, but we were pretty hungry, and we just thought, who cares? So we went up. So we ordered this big sort of boat of sushi and sashimi to share, but we also ordered 1 hand roll each. My hand roll came with Doritos in it, like stuck in it and in amongst it. So I had this like delightful crunch throughout it, which was amusing. And then we survived that, thank God. And then we walked along Paulista Avenue for hours and hours and hours, just looking at people. And I finally bought some Havanas after not having them for so long and only having tigers to wear. So I was thrilled at having a second pair of shoes. And we grabbed a coffee. We sat in the park. We sat on some swings for a little while.
We got kicked off said swings.
Until we were kicked off the swings because we were older than 10 years old. And I said, that's outrageous.
I bought a really amazing moonstone necklace. That was pretty cool.
That was very cool.
Mm-hmm.
But so we just had a sort of a day of exploring new downtown, really. And that was lovely. And then I can't remember what we did that night.
I think we just went back to the hostel and had caprianas. That was the first time I had caprianas.
Yeah, so I introduced Morgan to caprianas, which are Brazil's cocktail. And she loved them. So it's like a capriosca but with white rum. So it's just sugar and lime, basically. And the guy who was making them for us at Cafe Hostel, as he said, I make them with love, which meant basically shitloads of white rum.
Yeah.
Which is lovely. It's lovely. Lovely guy. So we just had a night in. We went to the supermercado and got some treats for the next few days. Our second day?
Yeah, our second day.
Walking tour.
Oh yeah, we got up and went on a walking tour, which felt like it was in the gates of hell. It was so hot. So we went on a walking tour on downtown Sao Paulo, which really nice, beautiful, and old buildings and stuff, and it's like 400 and something years old, Sao Paulo. So, and we just happened to be there on Sao Paulo's birthday weekend as well. So I went on the walking tour, which lasted 4 hours, but it actually lasted about 3. The guy was very, very peppy. I wanted to punch him on more than one occasion. Just like there's being excited and there's just being way too fucking happy and fake.
Yeah,
And
that's really fake.
we saw some beautiful sights. We saw some really, I don't know how to say it. Like when we walked through the park with all the homeless and everything, that was very confronting sights, and a lot of like people off their fucking heads totally, like asleep in the sun, and yeah, just very sad some of it, but
we saw some beautiful things though, like an old cathedral and like the first skyscraper and the oldest building, and got a lot of history.
The Wall Street of Sao Paulo.
Yeah, that was amusing. So like we got a lot of history, which is lovely. It was just a shame that the tour guide was a bit of a dick, and it was so freaking hot.
Yeah, and we did see some cool buildings, and we saw the street where all the markets are and stuff. I can't remember what it's called, but apparently it's the biggest market street in South America for all that kind of stuff. We did not go there. We'd done enough markets and shopping.
We'd just done enough that day.
Yeah, and then we jumped back on so we were going to go out that night, and we'd been discussing where to go. Like, I've heard a couple of different things of where to go, so we just jumped off at the train station and
followed the drunk people. Which was our instruction.
Yep. So we walked down, and then just the crazy lines to get into clubs. It was absolutely ridiculous, and I just didn't have the patience at that point. So we ended up walking around, and there was lots and lots of drunk people everywhere. People selling shots on the side of the road, tequila mainly. And so we did notice a sushi restaurant when we walked past. So instead of going out clubbing, we went and sat and drank kiwi caprianas and ate sushi, and then went home to bed.
So having said that, it sounds really ridiculous, but we drank it in the hostel until 11, and then we knew that the last train was at 1, so we jumped on that. So we were still home by like 1:30.
Yeah.
Like, it was good. I actually really enjoyed it because we got to see lots of things. We didn't get to see the inside of the club, but look, we both know what that looks like a little too well. So I think that's we'll survive. And
then the next morning we got on a bus to Rio, and this bus was amazing. Oh. We'd been on a nice bus it was an okay bus from Cusco to La Paz, like a sleeper, like reclines back and everything. But this was like luxury sleeper. It literally reclined 180 degrees. There's no one behind you. Had a little TV screen
with a remote.
Yeah, with a remote. It was really nice.
It was amazing.
Yeah. So a 6-hour trip was actually 8. No bus trips are ever what they say they are in South America, that put another 2 or 3 hours on it.
Yeah, but it was lovely. We watched a couple of movies, had a bit of a nap. Well, I did. Read books, did that sort of thing. It was actually really nice and really comfortable. It was a lovely way to travel, actually. We got off at some weird roadhouse halfway along where it's like a buffet situation, and then they weigh your plate, and that was fine. But we sort of grabbed one of everything, so it was quite expensive. But we both grabbed juices that we weren't, I'm not 100%
I'm pretty sure they're off.
Mine was, I think, watermelon, but it tasted more like bum, like it was gross. So that was weird, and so we just got back on the bus and enjoyed our movie, actually. It was lovely. When we got to Rio, we just got a cab to our hostel. Our hostel, we booked it through a different agency, and they charged us double, which I'm still in email arguments with them about. We don't want to dwell on it too much, and they also gave us the wrong room, but we didn't care.
Yeah.
First day in Rio?
Rio. We went to Copacabana Beach. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we went to Copacabana Beach, sat on the beach for a while, got nice and sunburnt. Because I don't think that our sunscreen was working here. Don't know why. Went for a swim in the water and it was very dirty.
Sandy and gross.
Yeah, a lot of waves and sand everywhere, and it's just a bit gross. Yeah.
Like Copacabana for like a tourist beach, it just has one dumper wave that breaks on the shore like every 20 seconds. It's just shit. Although we were warned about it from Andrew, but still.
Yeah, and on any beach in Rio, or that we've been to, like you get all the people coming up and down selling stuff, and you can hire chairs and everything. There's lots of little bars and restaurants along Copacabana, which is really cool of a night. So we found ourselves going back every evening and having like a couple of drinks and a snack and stuff along there, and just people watching because it's amazing.
They play like beach volleyball, and little kids play soccer in the sand, and like you can get sold whatever you can think of along there. It's pretty cool.
And there are some real stone cold weirdos along there, like legit. And yeah, so much shit everywhere for sale. But then what did we do that night? Nothing.
That afternoon we went and saw Christ the Redeemer. We're both such good religious people that when we figured out in Sao Paulo that we didn't burst into flames or turn into dust or ash when we went into the cathedral, that we could probably do Christ the Redeemer. So they have, I'm not going to go into it too much, but they have this stupid system where you can't buy tickets anywhere. You have to buy them online. It's all in freaking Portuguese. Anyway, I got it. I got the little man downstairs who also can't speak English to print it out for me. And we went. So they give you a designated time that you need to go up on a tram to Christ the Redeemer. And they run every 20 minutes, and 100 people every 20 minutes is a shitload of people between 8 and 7 p.m. So we went, and we obviously got there too early because they say to go half an hour before, but we thought, being South Americans, we should go an hour before. So we did. And then we went up, and with our, 1,000 of our closest friends, we're also up there. And there are just people everywhere, quite literally. There are just people everywhere with selfie sticks and lying on the ground and pulling poses and doing all this annoying shit that we did our pictures as quickly as we can, but not to take away from how enormous it is as a structure. It is ridiculous.
And the view from up there is phenomenal. Like, it's beautiful. Not just the statue is really amazing, how they did it and where they did it, considering what type of mountain it's on. Like, seeing that much of Rio is really overwhelming. It's really beautiful, and the mountains, and it's
a really interesting city. Like, we can't put our finger on what makes it so unique. Like, they've got strips of beaches, but then there's these huge, big, rocky mountains sort of everywhere.
Just come out of nowhere.
Yeah,
they're
really
beautiful.
Cool. So look, we probably didn't spend very long with Christo, but we came away understanding the enormity of what we've just seen, and also the frustration that every tourist feels when they get there with their other 800 friends. So we left pretty quickly. I mean, it was amusing, but it was also really frustrating because there's a lot of jostling of people trying to get their photo and get their freaking selfie sticks out and whatever. So
we should be beaten to death with those sticks. Anyone who owns one.
So then we I have a towel because I'm sweating down this rapids because it is so hot. We had to turn the fan off so that you could hear us, just so that you're aware. Anyway, so then we called the bus down to Copacabana and had a few drinks and had a nice night, which was lovely. We haven't really been out other than to lots of sushi in Brazil for any sort of food, so tonight is our night of doing that. So yeah, just if you're wondering why we haven't spoken about the food yet.
And what
the sushi is delicious.
What did we do yesterday? We went to Ipanema Beach.
Mm-hmm.
So it is beautiful. Really nice blue waves and like blue-green water, and the sand's nicer, and it's just, I just find it a much nicer beach.
Oh, I agree.
And yeah, I know you agree. It's fucking so much better than Copacabana, but I think that's because Copacabana is so touristy. And we just laid on the beach, got severely sunburnt for a couple of hours due to our sunscreen not working. And then...
we are putting on so much sunscreen, it's beyond a joke. So anyway, we found more sunscreen today, but yeah.
And then we went to the markets last night, so we were determined to buy some more habbies for people and bikinis. So we bought some bikinis. And so we wore those today. So last night we didn't do anything, watched a movie. Came back here, watched a movie.
Our nights look like this. Basically, we come back, Morgan puts on a movie, she falls asleep, and I'm just awake. So, for Australia Day in Australia, I stayed up until 7 a.m. listening to the Hottest 100. And then I had 2 hours sleep, and then we got up and did the Christo thing and Coca-Cola. And then for actual Australia Day was when we did Sugarloaf, etc.
Oh yeah, I forgot about you. So when we did Nemo Beach, we came back that afternoon and we went to Sugarloaf. So we went up there. Still, there was a lot of people up there, but not as many as up at Christ Redeemer. It was nice, beautiful views. It was fucking hot up there.
Again, full of a lot of tourists trying to get that picture.
Yep. It's quite frustrating. After we finished it, like I'm just like, high five, we're done with the tourist attractions. Like, I'm snapping out, mate.
We did 2 tourist attractions and that was enough for us.
Yeah. Too many people, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, so we did that yesterday.
Yeah, so that was Australia Day for us. So then today we went back to Ipanema, and this time we hired chairs and a parasol because we didn't want to be in the sun but we wanted to be at the beach. And that was lovely. Sitting in the shade was so much cooler, obviously. And it was just lovely. It was such a lovely day. And then Luciano Drinks, hashtag Luciano Drinks. I'll find him on Instagram and send it to people. He is a lovely little Brazilian man that comes around and makes caprinas for you. And he has this full setup that he can do it with. He can do vodka ones, he can do white rum ones, he's got all these different fruit, he mixes in front of you, he has a little bow tie, and he just keeps tugging it going, professional. So he's really cool. So we did that today, and we had an awesome day at the beach, mainly because we were in the shade.
And a little bit loaded, obviously.
Yeah, holy, after 2 drinks, wowzers, I may have had a little nap. But it was a lovely day, and so then we've just come back now to shower for the 15th time today because we shower what feels like every 5 minutes. And then we're going out for Morgan's last supper because what did you find out this morning?
So this morning I realised, because I thought I was leaving at 3 p.m. tomorrow, I'm actually leaving at 3 a.m. So fuck that up
Tonight?
a bit. Yeah. So I basically lost 12 hours. So when Rach, first thing she heard when she woke up this morning, like she opened her eyes, I'm like, oh my god, I fucked my flights up. Just like, what?
Awesome thing to wake up to, just as an aside. When I'm getting so little sleep in comparison to her, I'm like, what? Oh shit. All I could think about was, oh my god, you missed your flight. Anyway, it took me a while until I woke up to understand what had happened. So now we've basically put our last day on fast forward.
Yeah.
So it's a bit sad, but it is what it is. It has been 5 magical weeks. So being our last diary entry, we thought we might do a bit of a best of thing. So we've decided that there's going to be a South America trip number 2, and we've decided that it's a biannual thing because we're just too boring to do this shit every year. And we've decided we're coming back to South America. But, Morgan, where would you not come back to?
Oh, well, I've done Machu Picchu. I wouldn't do that again. So I've done Peru. I would not go back to Bogota. It's a hole. Everywhere else in Colombia was pretty cool. I really liked it. So I'd go back to... I'd like to see other areas of Colombia. They're like the Coffee Trail and is it Cardi?
Cartagena?
No, Cardi. Cali, that one. Yep. And I'd like to see, obviously, other parts of South America. I'd come back to La Paz and do Salt Flats, Death Road, so Bolivia more. Definitely come back to Brazil. It's cool. Not temperature wise.
Portuguese.
Yeah, pity about people. It's just a bit like Kempsey. How about you?
Again, I wouldn't go back to the bog. Wasn't a fan of Bogota at all. It was just
Not even with your acid taking friend.
not even with my acid taking friend in a hostel room. Not even with him. I feel like I don't need to go back to Peru, but I really loved Peru. I would definitely go back to Colombia. I don't think I'd go back to Panama. I'm very much done with Panama. And yeah, there are lots of other countries that I'd go back to. But yeah, the bog was one I was.
It was Shitsville, USA.
Do you have a most favourite moment?
When I caught you eating peanut butter with your finger in Median, that was one of my favourites. The look on your face was priceless. Another one would have been when we came back at 6 a.m. to our hostel in Median and tried to collect ourselves before going to bed. That was another one of my favourite moments.
Likewise, for me, I guess, any moment after a big night, of which we only had 3. Let it be known, we only had 3. I had 4 because I was up in New Year's, we've discussed this. But we only had 3 together. Yeah. Which in 5 weeks is phenomenal for us. I liked both of those mornings where we had to collect ourselves. I thought that was just hysterical. And I really like, and it's captured in film, that moment where you took a photo of us walking Machu Picchu, and because I was dealing in tigers, and like a bit of a Gumby anyway, I just kept tripping over, and Morgan happened to take a photo just as I was tripping over, and I was pissing myself laughing. It was the coolest photo.
Yeah, it is a really good photo. Yeah,
it was really cool. Most hated moment?
I don't know. I've had some issues where, like, it's my own fault because of the language barrier that I get really frustrated that people don't understand what I'm talking about. It's my own fault. I came to Brazil and South America not being able to speak Portuguese and Spanish, but the language barrier can be very frustrating at times. Like more so than any other country I've been to.
The Portuguese language barrier is particularly difficult. Spanish we could fumble our way through because
we know a little bit of Spanish.
We knew a little bit of Spanish. Well, you knew a little bit of Spanish, and it's very similar to French, and so I kind of felt that I was okay.
But Portuguese is just
my most hated moment. I don't feel like I have one. Like I've had moments where I couldn't breathe, or it's really hot, or I haven't had one when I was too cold. But I don't think I've had a most hated moment. It's all been like we've found the funny in everything that we've done.
Yep.
So that's been good.
It has been quite an amusing 5 weeks. I think we've laughed so much at each other, it's just retarded. As everyone that knows us could imagine.
Yeah. We laugh most days, like all day.
Yeah.
There's not really a moment where we don't laugh, which is probably annoying for others. We met some really cool people as well. Oh, yeah. In our 2 tours that we did, we met some really cool people. So that also made it as well. It meant that we could sort of hang out with them in Colombia and Peru and during the sailing. And
we were very lucky. We really lucked out on the people that we met.
And look, and I think that, you know, some of them I'll catch up with in London and Morgan will catch up with some of them in Brisbane. So they're people that we're not just meeting for the sake of, you know, meeting, which is lovely as well.
Yeah. So that'll be it for our South America number 1. No doubt we'll do South America number 2 in 2 years' time. So stay tuned. Bye.
Bye. Hi. So just one last moment. We decided, as people that know us that we love music and we hate Latino music as it turns out. So we found a song that is our theme song for this. Fireball. It's the only Latino song that we found that we liked, and it's by Mr. Worldwide Pitbull.
And when we first heard it, we were sitting in Capagana in the street, and it was like 9 o'clock at night. We're sitting there using Wi-Fi, and the only place in town that had Wi-Fi. And this song came on, the whole street started dancing and carrying on. We still get your word. This is our fucking song. This one.
So I'd heard the song before, and so I knew where it was, and so we both searched for it and downloaded it straight away. So we haven't listened to it that much, but it's been in my head for the last 5 weeks. There were times when I was doing Machu Picchu when I was like,
I got woken up to this song once.
oh yeah.
Not funny.
She fell asleep, but I got the shits, so I played this next to her head. Hilarious. Alright, that'll be enough.
Okay.
Ciao.